Well, hey y'all, welcome back to Doug's Cars. I got something a little different for y'all today. A Dodge pickup, D150, 1977, Adventurer, top of the line, SE. Check it out. Old school Mopar key for this old school Mopar truck in all its two-tone green paint glory. Adventurer SE, 150. So this is the half-ton, long bed, two-wheel drive, rally wheel, equipped step bumper. This thing is, it's got decals on it. This thing was top of the line truck luxury for 1977 from Chrysler. Vent windows, one outside mirror because the other outside mirror has succumbed to the ages. This awesome truck is owned by my buddy Alex. You've seen him in a bunch of my videos. He works at sports car workshops, which I always link to in the comments below because they take care of my stuff and they should take care of your things as well. He's one of the mechanics there. This is what he drives. His cushy, comfy, luxurious pickup truck with the 1970s Dodge Charger style scalloped in hood with the power dome in the middle. Luxury here too. All the room for activities in here. You could house several people in here. Look at how much room is in this. This, by the way, is a 318 with a Holley 4-barrel Edelbrock intake and hooker headers. This thing is awesome. It is cherry and it is exactly the way it should be. It sounds fantastic. It drives really well. And that little 318 actually puts out some power. Now, this is a factory AC truck, but it's been removed, unfortunately, because that would be really cool to try. Not that it's warm today, as you can tell by the fact that I'm wearing my winter coat. But yeah, look at how much room is in here. Even with the AC that would normally be in this area, ton of room in this engine bay. Of course, they did put bigger engines in these, 360s, 440s, things like that. I don't believe they ever put the street Hemi in these, but you could definitely fit one in there. Maybe someone should try that sometime. Counterbalancing springs on the hood, no prop rod here. Check out the long bed on this 8-foot bed. You could fit an entire piece of OSB in there, not just this little tiny section here. 4x8 sheet between the wheel wells, and you've got stake pockets. It appears to be a double wall bed too, which was fairly new at the time. That way, if you dented the inside, you wouldn't have a huge dent on the outside, marring your lovely two-tone finish in light and dark green with all these mold strips here. A little bit of cancer there, unfortunately. But I mean, this was top of the line. The reason I pointed out how luxurious that hood latch was is because a lot of trucks and cars of this era, certainly until probably about 1980, didn't have interior hood releases. You just walked up to the grill, and somewhere in the grill, you'd pop it. And that meant that anybody could open your grill at any time. If you're just walking down the street, you want to steal someone's distributor cap, play a prank on them or something, you can do that. But not on this. That hood latch is locked, and the interior of this truck, behind these vent windows and all this bright work, top and side, take a look. Now, unfortunately, this door panel is currently missing, but that's okay because we've got this one over here on the driver's side. There's no one coming. You can see in the sunlight, look at how much care went into this. Now, there's still the factory paint up here, but you've got the pull strap, you've got an armrest, you've got this little detail here, you've got carpeting. It is still a crank window truck. This is not a power window vehicle. I'm not sure it was available in 1977. You might have had to get a Ford Ranger or something like that, or definitely the GM products, because they always carried all of the power accessories. But just the amount of attention to detail on that door panel is amazing. But this was the top of the line pickup. This was as high as it got for Chrysler, and that's why it has things like factory air. Now, as we saw, there is no more AC equipment under the hood, and replacing that would probably be cost prohibitive, but that would be cool to see. It's got the vents here for the AC in the middle, one over there, and then of course one over here too. Now here's again the hood release, the brake release. Here's the switch for the high beams here on the floor. Yes, that's right, kids. It's not on the turn signal stalk. You had to actually press a button on the floor with your foot, just mash on it. High beams on, high beams off. It actually was kind of useful. Full complement of mainly working gauges. Well, the oil's just an idiot light. No tack, of course. Radio right here and easy access. If you're the passenger sitting way over there, maybe the middle passenger, but if you're that passenger, you're not controlling this radio at all. 3-speed fan to go along with all that. Washer wiper over here. Ashtray full of change with a lighter. Very cool. glove box. Ooh, wow. Champion spark plug in there. It's got a glove box light. Actually, the interior of this is clear. That's interesting. Well, opaque, I should say. Fuses in there. Insert a key to remove cover. That'll do it. And this dash pad, like, is the entire glove. This thing weighs a ton. But I mean, that's what's preventing you from smacking into that. I will say there's no headliner, and it doesn't look like, well, maybe there was one here. There's a few screws that are missing, and it is a bit echoey in here. So I'm wagering that this truck had some type of green vinyl headliner, even in that little area to aid with sound deadening a bit, because again, top of the line. If you had just the base D150, probably wasn't one. But yeah, there are some screw holes. I bet this had it. Yeah, no vanity mirrors on these, and no driver's side mirror on this one either. Vent windows, always nice to have, especially when the AC is not working. The Prindle indicator here. This actually is a TorqueFlite 727, so it's, you know, an iron case Chrysler transmission. It'll outlast all of us. 3-speed automatic behind that 318. And the window's delaminating a bit, as is, you know, normal with vehicles of this age, but man, this thing is really cool. And I picked this thing up, I don't even want to say how much, but it was under $500, significantly. And, you know, these are out there. It just needed a few things like a starter. Man. Yes, I am jealous. Sorry, Alex. I might have to keep this. You had these great little wheels down here for floor air. Open and close that. Carpeting, this has been recently replaced by the new owner, but this was a carpeted vehicle. And you also got cloth, kind of a mouse fur. I think I once saw this mentioned as, it's not quite velour, it's something very synthetic, of course, but it's held up fairly well. Obviously, you know, with age and sitting out in the sun, you've got the sliding rear window right here too. Yeah, it's gonna be ruined, but you know, it's still a usable seat. It's not terrible. And everything else in here is held up pretty well. There's screws missing here on this dash panel, because I know he's had it out to work on the gauges. Speedo certainly is missing the needle, but otherwise, this thing's held up really well. Once that door panel goes back on, maybe throw a cover on this seat, if you can find a green cover. I mean, green isn't really an interior color anymore, which is unfortunate. All right, got my key here, which does actually operate the doors as well. Very forward thinking. Now, you would think it would go in this way, but no, it's a Mopar, so it goes in what I would consider to be upside down. Come on. Well, that sounds good. Just down a little bit. Oh yeah. I will say, this gas pedal has got to be the most ridiculous gas pedal I've ever had to tread upon. You have to give so much force to this thing. Like, it's like you either like touch it and nothing happens, or it's like floored. It's the spring in it is so stiff that I don't know. Anyway, let me get you mounted up here and we'll go for a ride. All right, into drive. Now, oh my gosh, and then there it goes. Oh man, the gas pedal. I mean, it really takes some pressure. Wow. I mean, like, this thing does not have cruise control, which was most assuredly an option. But man, if you had to drive this long distance, just keeping that pressure on that gas pedal would wear out your leg. Maybe not Alex, because he's, you know, like 18 years old or something, but for us old guys, you wouldn't be able to do like they do in movies and like put a broom handle or something between the seat and the gas pedal, because it wouldn't be, the seat wouldn't be strong. Oh my gosh, wow. I wonder if that's the way they all were, or if there's just something amiss with this. I don't know. It moves fine once you overcome that initial heavy duty resistance, but until you get there, whew. So yeah, well, I'm moving along fine. I mean, I have no idea how fast I'm going because the speedo needle is broken, so sorry, officer, but I'm just back here on some side streets, trying to stay away from traffic. Problem with making videos this time of year is when you have a full-time job, you don't have a lot of daylight, and also what daylight you have left is around other people's rush hour, and I just don't want to be on. There we go. Yeah, open up that exhaust. Yes, hooker header's doing everything to make this thing sound good. MagnaFlow exhaust. Did not come with that from the factory. I can't imagine it would have sounded bad, but this sounds so much better. And I'm sure it has much more power with that 4-barrel. This must have been a 2-barrel from the factory. I pretty much can guarantee that. A little more of a hill coming up here. Yeah! Get going! Nice. Yeah, I'm definitely not taking this back. He can have the Land Rover. It's just a Land Rover. I can get another one of those anytime. I cannot get another one of these. Not at all. Definitely has a good turn signal sound. Great exhaust note. The steering is American car fingertip light. You know, just one finger and it'll do anything you want. Except give you any feel of the road, but that's the way American cars were with power steering. This obviously has power steering and power brakes. Top of the line model, factory air. It's not going to be a manual anything car other than the windows and the seat. And okay, lots of manual things, but it was 1977, so. It's a love-hate relationship I have. I love hearing this accelerate. I hate making it accelerate because of the really stiff gas pedal. I'm gonna have to ask Alex about that when I get this back to him. See if that's something he noticed. He drives way more cars than I do because of course he works at a shop and works on cool stuff all day long. Older than this, newer than this, whatever, you name it. But I have never, in all of my many years of driving, felt a gas pedal this stiff. I don't mean that to be in any way, shape, or form me disliking this vehicle. It's awesome. I'm just curious as to why that is and whether they were all that way. I imagine they were. I can't imagine that if there was a broken spring in there, it wouldn't work at all or it would go straight to the floor. So this must be the way it's supposed to be. Oh, I'd do that again. Yes, 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 yes. You know, I will say one thing, in addition to the fact that the turn signal clicks very nice for the time. The cancel works. There's so many of these old cars that I have driven, the cancel no longer works on the turn signal, and I didn't even realize it until that last corner I made just a few seconds ago where it did it. And I was like, wait, it works. Because usually that's the first thing to break. I bet it's got to be some kind of metal or something in there, not just plastic that's going to break instantly, come off in your hand, and then you know, well, I mean, the turn signal stock itself is also metal, so there's that. It works both ways, which is fantastic. Cheers to Mopar quality for that. I know they were not known for quality in other ways, but for this one, turn signal cancel, 2 enthusiastic thumbs up, Mopar. Good job. I just love that sound so much. It sounds so good. Well, as I wait to figure out what this person's doing, oh, they're making a turn in the middle of the road for some reason. I want to thank y'all for joining me in coming along for a ride in this really nice patinaed 1977 Dodge D150 Adventurer SE. What a cool ride this has been. What a great exhaust note. So much room under the hood for 3 more engines, or a family of 6, as Jay Leno would probably say. And yeah, I just want to thank Alex for letting me drive his truck. It's been really cool. And you know, really for having it, getting this, bringing it back from the dead, because this thing is awesome and it deserves to live on, and it will now, which is fantastic. And ease back into his parking spot here at the shop. I want to thank y'all for joining me, and stay tuned for more Doug's Cars, because there'll be more cool stuff coming soon. And if you haven't hit subscribe, please do, because I've seen like 78% of y'all are not subscribers yet, and that goes a long way to helping me bring more of this content to y'all. Thanks so much for watching.